Hello, everybody, and we're back. Whoa, everyone, calm down. Calm down, everyone. It's good to see everyone. How's everyone going today? I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil. I want to talk about this today. My God, I knew I liked Resident Evil 4. I knew I did, but I didn't know that I was going to like it this much again. Definitely want to talk about this. I want to talk about some Resident Evil stuff. I want to look at some trailer today, which looks kind of cool, and some news, reviews, and discussions. Firstly, how is everybody going today? How is everyone doing? Have you guys been playing Resident Evil 4? Or have you been playing something else? Have you been playing the Diablo beta? Now, I also want to talk a little bit about that today too. I'm actually so surprised how good that game was, but we're going to get to that later. But someone said they're halfway through it and loving it. Absolutely, man. It is such a good game. Solid remake. Absolutely. LAMON, GAMON. Hi, dude. Hello, dude, to you. Hello, fellow dudette. All right, let's get into it. Now, I think you guys really just want to hear one thing. Let's be real here, okay? You just want to hear... Oh, you want to hear that drop, baby. All right. Everyone, calm down. Jesus Christ, calm down. Oh, Bird Up. Yeah, you know where that's from. Yes. Okay, Eric Andre. I love Eric Andre. I think he's doing a new season, actually. I'm actually really excited for that. All right, so why don't we start? Ladies and gentlemen. Well, I will say first and foremost that I really think that I went in with relatively high expectations for this because Resident Evil 4 is like Resident Evil 4, right? Everyone kind of thinks of it as one of the best games. Now, I was speaking to someone else about this actually, and they said they thought Resident Evil 2 was their favorite, but now they realize Resident Evil 4 is their favorite. And I concur. I actually think this is by far the greatest Resident Evil game that I've played. Even the original one, when I think back now, I just think that this just delivered something that 2 actually didn't for me, and even Nemesis didn't for me. But we'll get into all that really, but first and foremost, Res 4 is a masterpiece, right? So it already had good bones to work with. And on top of that, those good bones, that masterpiece, I think this has gone to the next level for multiple reasons, right? Multiple reasons. But some of the things that Resident Evil 4 did when it first came out, it revolutionized like the over-the-shoulder thing. Now, some people are like, no, some games did it before, but like this kind of made it popular, right? Like, and I know other games kind of took this and moved forward with it. So this fundamentally changed how Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 you existed in the world in terms of the camera. It was always like in the corner of the room. It was quite a stale and stagnant environment in terms of how the camera presented you, how the camera was put, and you were just kind of put in this room that didn't move, you know? So Resident Evil 4 absolutely changed the game in that regard, where it was ballsy, you know? It did things that was fundamentally different from the original Resident Evils. It also made itself far more actiony. Holy shit, this is a lot more actiony, and just like there's like a wave of enemies all the time in this goddamn game. Where Resident Evil 2 and 3, although like Nemesis definitely kind of upped the ante in terms of like how many explosions you can expect from Resident Evil, this one took it to the whole next level. But if you've never played this game, right? So I was thinking like, I'll review this in a way that like you've never played it. So although I want to do a little bit of comparison in terms of what they've changed, and it's hard to know exactly what they've changed, right? I've played this game freaking 18 years ago, man. But I did actually buy this on Switch several months ago. I did turn it on, play a bit of it, but I didn't actually finish it, right? But I would say that if we're reviewing it as a new game, the story itself does feel like it has aged a little bit, I would say. But overall, the story beats feel right? It's keeping you interested throughout. I think Leon as a protagonist is very great. They've definitely changed the way that he was originally done. There was a lot more corny one-liners, but they did keep Bingo. He did keep Bingo in this. And I'm glad they did, of course. But a lot of other things that he would say and one-liners and like kind of corny and cheesy shit that he would say, they kind of cut this because the overall tone of this story is different. I mean, I feel like this aesthetically and the story-wise, like they wanted to deliver something that felt a bit more real. where I think GameCube days and like early 2000s and whatever, like you could get away with delivering a horror game and it's still feeling cringe, where this story definitely, I think this time around they wanted to actually deliver something a bit more dark and a bit more meaningful. Some of those changes I found was Lewis, for instance, this guy right here on screen. There we go. Perfect. His journey was ultimately different. He was more in this game. He feels a little bit more fleshed out. You know, and then there's Ada, which I saw some people talking about how Ada had additional story after you had finished this game. There was actually there was an entire a way in which that you could play additional content, and she had her own story or something like that. I couldn't remember that because it's been so long, but it seems like they've cut that from this remake entirely. They've done that, I think, just to keep the story kind of working in a way that's going to be kind of compact and just keep it to Leon's story. I would say that in terms of, if we're talking story and characters, I would say that Ashley felt very damsel in distress the whole time, but I couldn't remember what she was last time, so I did kind of go back and look, and I'm like, yeah, okay, she's kind of the same thing here, but that's essential to keep this kind of plot going, you know. But it did keep you engaged. But one thing I would say is this story was wrapped around one idea and one idea only. You have Ashley, you lose Ashley. You have Ashley, you lose Ashley. That is it. That's all you see all the time. It's like, oh, cool, she's here again. Oh, wait, she's gone. What am I doing? That's so silly. Of course she's gone. Oh, I got her again. Oh, man, I got her. Oh, she's gone, you know? That kind of was the entire story of this. But in terms of campaign length, it felt good. It felt, I think I did mine in about 12 or 13 hours or so. I had a great time. Played all weekend playing this. But in terms of enemy design and combat, this didn't feel like it fundamentally changed what it was back in the day, right? The enemy design and the combat itself is very much connected to just how slow Leon is. Like, Leon is slow, and I saw one of the journos get attacked actually because he was like, there's no dodge mechanic, there's no like way to get around enemies in this, you know, because Leon has no like ability to truly evade. Everyone jumped on that and was like, oh my god, this guy doesn't know how to play the game. But like, there's truth to that. There's actually truth to that, you know? As much as everyone's like, journo bad, IGN doesn't get it, or IGN doesn't know how to play, you know, games, too much water in Pokemon. Sometimes, like, I actually get that, especially in this troll fight that we're looking at right now. Man, that was a pain in the butt. I mean, it didn't matter how fast you tried to, like, sprint to the side. You're pretty slow in this, you know? So the combat design feels, from what I remember, quite similar, and its shortcomings are still there. Like, those shortcomings, I feel like if you're going to be making a remake, include things that feel a bit more up to date in terms of how confident you can feel in a fight when you're trying to get away from something. Like Dark Souls, I'm not saying this should be freaking like Dark Souls, right? I'm not saying that you should have the same role as Dark Souls, but there's a level of confidence in those games where, like, if you roll, or if you have the right tools, that you might get hit all the time, but you have the tools to get away if you actually just learn it. Where with this, it didn't matter how much you learn to fight or whatever, it absolutely felt like in terms of combat, didn't really give you the tools that I feel like it really needed. And this was a good opportunity in this remake to go back and actually do that. It's good to see you too. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are enjoying Res Remake. So let's talk about it after. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, look, in terms of villains and boss fights, I think the villains in this are fantastic. There's quite a few of them. I would say there's quite a few villains in this. It's not just one villain. There's multiple villains. And you're actually guessing the whole time. It's like, which one's going to be the end villain? You know, like, you go to the castle and... Okay, well, there's three major kind of stages in this game, right? There's the village, there's the castle, then there's the island, right? And every single part of it, you're like, which one's going to be the end evil old dude? Because there was like multiple evil dudes out there. There was a couple of the old. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be the commando guy. It's going to be one of these old, crusty, religious-looking dudes. They're going to be the end villains, like that guy there. But anyway, so in terms of villains, It felt great. I do feel like based on the campaign length of this, it absolutely kept on your toes. The narrative, I think, benefited from how many different enemy villains kind of jumped into the fold and jumped out and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of kept it fresh. So I absolutely love that. So like, I would say that this is like action more than horror. Like, honestly, when I was playing this, I'm like, man, I remember this being, okay, I saw people being like, this is so scary. This is so scary. I'm like, no, I don't actually think it was that scary because I'm a man and a man doesn't get scared, ladies and gentlemen. No, honestly, I think it's because I don't know, I didn't feel like it was, its main strength wasn't its horror. Its main strength was its action. You know, this game just absolutely threw so much at you all the time, and that was where it was trying to shine most, right? So I didn't really feel like this is a horror game. This is definitely horror action, if anything. I wouldn't say this is like survival horror, especially with how much goddamn ammo they give you in this game. I wouldn't say that this is survival, because you get a lot of ammo in this. But it feels like it's kind of it's calculated so correctly in this. You always felt like you were just like one bullet away from not having enough ammo, and sometimes I did run out of ammo. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, this guy needs 4 more shots and I don't have it, so I'll just get my knife out and just like slice away for a while. And that was annoying at times, right? That was annoying. But all in all, the ammo itself felt really, really good. Now, I will say there's some cons, right? So some things that I did feel like were underutilized or just like the wrong direction, because with a remake, right, you need to take, creative license. You need to move forward with an idea and kind of elevate it, or try and elevate it, right? Otherwise, it's just a remaster. I would say like Ashley was not utilized enough in puzzles. Absolutely not. The whole idea of Ashley kind of, you're able to like command her to hold things down and whatever. I think that if you have a remake, then you have a lot more possibilities here to try and reinvent and kind of rejuvenate some of those puzzles in a way that like just includes more of that and makes it more complicated, where like 9 times out of 10, if Ashley was included in any puzzle, it's like, hold down this button. She's like, okay. And then you run over and like open a door. And then she's like, okay, cool. Or like she has to sit down somewhere and like press a bell. And then you press a bell. And that's it, right? Where it could have been like multi-puzzle things with Ashley having to hold things down and whatever. So that was one thing. Another thing is, too many waves of enemies, man. Sorry, this might be an unpopular take. But I felt like, man, there's too much of a good thing. There's too much of a good thing. Every major beat in this game gave you like 100 enemies to kill. And I just feel like after a while, I'm like, you've played that card. Not to say that you naturally can't have waves of enemies throughout a good game and a good story and kind of reinvigorate that kind of beat and make it feel like it's, the pressure's on. Like, that's important. But I will say, after a while, I was like, oh my god, like there's so many goddamn enemies here, dude. Like I get it. They're trying to kill me. I get it. So that was another thing that I felt like it just was kind of overcalibrated. Dodging enemies, I've already spoken about that. That was another con. And I guess the one thing also, as you guys are probably experiencing when you're playing it, is this whole like mechanic of telling Ashley to go away or come closer. I'm like, come closer, Ashley, please, please. Just stay close the whole time. Please. Ada, stay close. Please. I didn't think that worked at all. I don't think it mattered. I'm sorry, but I don't think it really mattered. Very rarely was like, oh, okay, I need to make sure that I'm using this mechanic correctly, because 9 times out of 10, she was just kind of smart enough anyway in terms of the AI. The AI was just kind of doing it anyway. And yeah, sure, she was getting captured sometimes, but 9 times out of 10, it wasn't something that I'm like, oh, I didn't play that room properly because I wasn't utilizing that mechanic. That never really crossed my mind, But like, one thing I actually wanted to talk about, because I'm seeing, so I put in the thumbnail, click that, is like, best remake ever. I'm seeing this a lot. People are like, best remake ever, oh my god, it's so fucking good, love it. The best remake. Like, what is a good remake? Like, was thinking about that. Like, what is a good remake? I've pretty much played them all now. So, I mean, played them all. Like, I've played a lot of the major AAA ones. I've played Resident Evil 2. I played Resident Evil 3. I played Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Dead Space, Link's Awakening, A Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Is that a remake? Lol. Demon Souls, like, you know, and then some of them, of course, you can kind of just call them a remaster. But like, I feel like I've been across a lot of these remakes, right? And like, I honestly think, and like, what is a good remake? I actually wrote this down. I was trying to think about it. I think it's like it elevates the original vision while retaining the magic and the essence of that game while utilizing today's standards to let it shine brighter. Right? Does that make sense? Super broad. Super broad. Because I think it needs to be. I think a good remake can be many things. It can be Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they fundamentally change the mechanics of the entire game, and they kind of just... They give you the old story, I guess, but packaged up differently with different pacing, with multiple releases and a completely different mechanic, how you will kind of fight in the world, right? And then there's like this, right? Where like a lot of it is the same, but they've just kind of made some story beat changes, and they've made some overall, just even how the character is in the world in terms of Leon and how it feels to play, and the gun, and like how the actual combat feels. There's a lot of changes here, right? But I would say that that's what I would say it is. Like, when I think of what makes a good remake, it's about, let's elevate that original vision. Let's bring it to like a new place. Let's make it shine brighter. That's like, you know, whatever was holding it back in the old days in terms of graphically, or just like, you know, the power of the machine not allowing the developers to deliver the full vision. Well, let's do that now. That's what I feel like a remake is. And each is going to be different. Like, some people will think Final Fantasy VII's remake was the most courageous remake we've seen because it fundamentally changed so much. And then people will look at this and go, no, I think that this is the greatest remake because it just took what was already a masterpiece and elevated it even more. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is, I think that this, for me, isn't the greatest remake that I've played. I enjoyed Dead Space more, right? But I hadn't played Dead Space before. This was the first time for me. So my opinion is a bit biased, right? Because I'm looking at this and seeing like the gravity mechanics and the overall aesthetic and the darkness, and just like, it's the first time experience for me where I'm like, whoa, this was such an incredible experience. And I just loved Dead Space so much for that, right? But then I look at this game and I think that I can understand why people are calling this the greatest remake ever. But each to their own. I'm not here to definitively say one is better than the other. I'm here to say it's quite broad. Remakes can be, and as we've progressed with remakes, I think we can see now that they can come in all shapes and sizes. And I think the most clear indicator of that was Final Fantasy VII, where they were like, cool, we're going to give you a remake, and boy, you guys aren't going to be able to play it like you used to. And I actually think I think that's fine, you know? So I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I think story-wise, combat-wise, it definitely was reshaped in a way that fit, and the creative vision and the creative license that this dev team took to reimagine this was done in such a brilliant way. It was tweaked in certain ways to bring it to life, make it feel better, but at the same time, it still delivered that original amazing vision. You know what I found, actually, by the way? Look at this. I did not know you could do this. All right? At the start of the game, when you're fighting these people, you can go up to the top. And you can just shoot this bell. And it stops this entire encounter. So anyone that's starting now, just do this. Wow, I don't think you get this gun at the beginning though, do you? I think this must be like... Yeah. Cool, huh? Cool. Yeah, so all in all, I thought it was fantastic. Now, what do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys think. As an FF7 fan... Oh shit, what's that noise? Let's turn that shit off. As an FF7 fan, I wish we got more of a Res 4 style one. The story changes were too much in my opinion. Too much for you in terms of Res 4 or too much for FF7? Final Fantasy VII's changes, especially at the end, I think a lot of people were fundamentally disappointed to see them take such creative freedom. You know, I think that remakes need to sit within the confound, like on the, yeah, like in a space where you feel like it still is the game, right? Whereas and Final Fantasy VII was still the game, but it definitely felt like it was kind of teetering on, well, this feels like really quite new territory in a lot of ways, right? I wish Final Fantasy VII was a remake of the original, not a totally different game. Absolutely understand where people were coming from. I think people would have been somewhat disappointed I think if they didn't take any leaps forward with Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's the thing. If they didn't do that, then that could have been kind of disappointing for some people. I found out about that just a few hours ago. Yeah, me too. I woke up and I'm like, whoa, I gotta put that shit in. That's content. That's what people want to know. They don't care about my goddamn review. They want to know how the hell do you stop the barrage of people. Shoot the bell. Shoot the bell. One remake I would love to be made is the original Dino Crisis. Bro, that was mad. I was thinking about that actually when I was playing this game. I'm like, Dino Crisis was lit. It was honestly lit. Whatever happened with that? Who owns Dino Crisis? Can we look that up in the chat? Jamie, pull that up. You know, who the hell owns that shit? Oh, you become a good man. Oh, man. Became a member. I love you, man. Thank you so much. Dragonborn became a member. Thank you so much. And Ro for £2. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. I appreciate you and I love you all. I love you all. I love my members more. No, love everyone more. You know how like parents are like, I love all my children the same. Yeah, well, there's always a favorite. Let's be real. What else? A bad remake is when you miss the original over playing the remake. Okay, the recent GTA remakes are a good example. Funny you say that. Okay, I would say that was more a remaster, the GTAs. I finished 2 out of the 3 of them. I would say that I really enjoyed that, and when I went back to the original, I thought that the GTAs were better, man. I thought they were better. I did think that aesthetically they actually just did the same thing across the HUD. Like it didn't actually have an individualistic look. They kind of just blanket made, yeah, the HUD on all games looked the same. And I'm like, kind of, you know, should have not done that. You know, they should have actually made it different. All the cheat codes were all the same too. Not that I use cheats. What? I could finish that game, promise. But I found that the GTA one was actually something that I enjoyed, and I actually bought that on Switch, funnily enough, because I just wanted to like play it on Switch. I like playing games on Switch. Wouldn't be surprised if Expo Primal started as Dino Crisis 4. I don't know what Expo Primal is. Hardcore gamer here. I don't know what Expo Primal is. What happened to the old studio? You going back to that setup? No, well, I mean, we packed up the studio. I didn't do a video for a year. Otherwise, it would be just like, you know, the John Travolta man just like looking around and shit. No, we packed that up. I might just do videos like this ever so often, guys. I like hanging with you guys anyway like this. This is fun. This is fun, isn't it? You getting SH2 remake? Oh, Silent Hill 2? Wait, do you mean Silent Hill 2? Come back to me on that. And if... No. Don't get me wrong, I love FF7 Remake, but they were way too creative with the story. I prefer the Res 4 style of remake. I agree with that to some extent. I feel like it was kind of borderline into like spin-off territory or like multiverse territory. You know, it kind of felt almost like this is the Final Fantasy VII that you loved. Here's something else that we're not sure that you'll love, but here it is, you know. Surfing Kiwi, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. I appreciate you. I love you, man. Apparently, Dino Crisis is owned by Capcom. Okay, well, that kind of feels right. See, they're having so much success, actually, with these remakes. I would say that I'm very surprised that Resident Evil 3 was not as not widely acclaimed. Then they came back with such a strong... Like, it became... Resident Evil 4 remake was so well done that I'm just surprised that that Resident Evil 3 was such a letdown when Resident Evil 2 was so fantastic. So Resident Evil 2 and 4 were really fantastic in terms of those remakes, and Resident Evil 3 felt so stripped back. So like for Capcom to go from such a fantastic remake, for them to like drop the ball almost with Res 3 remake, and then they're like, oh my god, well we better fix that shit again. So I'm glad that they did, but for them to not to continue that quality, I think was a real bummer, and it was quite surprising. I think a lot of people were surprised when that came out. Do I think they'll come out with a Res 5 remake? Yeah, they will. I don't think they should though. Not yet. Like, just let this chill. This is like the pinnacle of Res. Res 4 is like it, you know? So just like let this chill for a bit. You know, maybe give us 5 years or something. Then do it, you know? Surfing Kiwi, it's great to see you back. Looking forward to more streams. Man, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Resident Evil 3 Remake was rushed. It didn't have half the effort of 2. I completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. Yeah. I finished that thinking, wow. That was pretty shit. No, it wasn't shit. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't like incredible. It wasn't incredible. So what else is going on, fellas, in the world of games? That was good times, wasn't it? Eat the rich. Eat the rich. I actually never watched this. I'm waiting for the Big Short movie with Ryan Gosling. They got to do that. And Michael Scott. He should just play more Michael Scott. He should play that character in that. It'd be great. What else? 5 years? Hell nah. You want to see? You want to see Res 5 quicker? Nah. I'm actually happy to. I'm happy to wait a bit. Happy to wait a little bit. I liked FF7 Remake because to me, the old games always exist and I can still play those. A new spin-off on things can be nice. I agree with that. Like, again, like I don't have like, I'm not married to a certain... Zendru, good to see you, my friend. So when's the next Smash stream? Yes, we absolutely have to do a Smash stream. Yeah, so I'm not married to the idea that a remake has to be something, right? It's so malleable. I mean, it's new territory remakes, right? Are we going to see like in 300 years... So in 300 years, are we going to have like remakes that kids are going to be like, what the hell is Resident Evil 12? This looks like shit. And we're like, well, we're dead by then. But let's just say we're not dead. We're like, this is where it's at. This shit was lit. Resident Evil 4 though was even better. Maybe like Resident Evil 4 will be like, you know how we look back at now like the Iliad and the Homer and we're like, they're ancient texts. Res will be like, it's an ancient game, you know. Who knows? Who knows? Have you played any games recently? Yeah, I played Fortnite 72. Oh man, you should go back and play Res 4. Nah, isn't that like the Bible? That's ancient. It's like 2,000 years ago. Screw that. Meditations with Marcus Aurelius. No. I'd rather play Final Fantasy 8. There's more lessons in that. There's more lessons in that, everybody. What else? What else? They should remake Devil May Cry. Yeah. Didn't they do like a remaster or some shit of that? Oh, am I wrong there? Isn't Resident Evil gonna be public domain by then? Yes. Funnily enough, actually, with this public domain with the Winnie the Pooh thing, God, that's actually really backfired for them. I haven't seen that horror film, but apparently the next one's gonna be even bigger. Even like more money thrown into it. So I wouldn't mind seeing it. Resident Evil 12, as a kid, I thought we'd be on Final Fantasy 47 by now. That's so true. I remember seeing Final Fantasy 11. I'm like, whoa, Jesus Christ, chill out. That's too many. FF16 now. By the time that we all die, which is a bit morbid, we'll probably be on Final Fantasy 20. Who knows, right? Like, it's taken that long. Sam, my mum listens to Let's See all the time. Oh man, I appreciate that, Gareth. Thank you so much. She's always asked to put the handsome YouTube guy on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? I don't know what you're talking about. That's nice, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. What else happening in the game of news? What's happening in the game of news? What's happening in the world of news? Sony Interactive Entertainment Metacritic Publisher of the Year. Now, look at this now. I mean, look, highest score is 94. The average is 85%. Now, the reason I bring this up, because I thought that's interesting when Sony's like, we're not going to be competitive. We're screwed if Microsoft wins. I'll come back to that later, of course, but man, they go strength to strength. Sony, honestly, for the last 20 years, strength to strength, apart from maybe PlayStation 3. Maybe PlayStation 3. But yeah, I think that I actually also think that we're actually done now with this whole Xbox and Sony thing. We'll get to the news later, but I think now it's really skewed in the favor of Xbox. Skewed in the favor of Xbox. I saw this actually. This is kind of cool. I thought this was kind of cool.
This is live from PS5. Let's go now to our first story.
The good people of Manhattan woke up to a gift from their favorite hero as he delivered a gang of criminals on something of a webbed platter.
Historic scenes unfolding in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Laid eyes on this scene in over 2,000 years.
Oavsett om det här är skimmervintern eller inte så är det...
Boy.
お伝えしてます。後ろをご覧ください。召喚獣同士の戦いは激しさを増してます。
Unsure whether to call a doctor or a god.
Anyway, I thought that was cool. I think that came out a month ago, right? But I didn't see that. I always like PlayStation's ads. I think they're pretty cool. Styling tips with Laymen Gaming soon. Of course, John. Anything for you, man. Anything for you, my man. Will you do I didn't actually finish Ragnarok yet. Alright, I gotta do that, hey. I actually need to finish Ragnarok. I wouldn't mind doing that, like a 6-month review or something. People are like, oh my god, shit, I haven't watched 17 reviews on this. Sure, I'll watch this one too. John Wick, by the way. John Wick's 4's first cut was 3 hours and 45 minutes. Oh my god, this movie was long enough. 2 hours and 49 minutes, 2 hours and 38 minutes without credits. No. 3 hours and 45 minutes would have felt like torture. Not that I didn't like it. But I will say, after a while, I was just done with it. Have you guys seen John Wick 4? Tell me your thoughts. The director also confirmed that this actually is the inspiration. Hong Kong Massacre review. Hong Kong Massacre.
The Hong Kong Massacre is
This is from IGN.
Max Payne on the set of a John Woo movie, and for the most part, it's every bit as exhilarating as that combination sounds.
Alright, we heard enough. We don't want to hear from you, IGN. We just want to use your video. Link in the description after, I guess. Yeah, so this is where actually, if you guys have seen John Wick, there's a particular scene that does a lot of this, where it it's pretty much like bang on doing this the entire 2 to 5 minutes that this scene plays out. And Ralph was when I saw this with Ralph, he was like, oh my god, this looks exactly like Hong Kong Massacre. And I hadn't really seen Hong Kong Massacre before, but when I saw this, I'm like, oh, actually yes, I have seen footage of this before. But yeah, the director came out and actually confirmed that this has been very much the John Wick took inspiration from this. Sony needs to chill and take that 10-year COD deal from Microsoft. Well, we're going to get to that. Now, one thing I saw actually from this, from yesterday, which I thought was really freaking cool. So this is a video from Jack Frags. I'm going to put also in the link in the description. Dude, Creative 2.0 for Fortnite. So this is going to be fundamentally changing, I think, what Fortnite could potentially be in the next 5 to 10 years. Like, a lot of people play Fortnite right now because they want to play Fortnite, but maybe this will end up being a marketplace for people to ultimately sell games, like Steam, right? Steam, everyone goes to Steam to kind of find a game, play games, and also like, in the store, there's advertising. Like, you get a lot of traffic as a developer. Fortnite has that same traffic in terms of people just wanting to play. Now, you can build pretty much entire games now in Creative 2.0, and I didn't even really know Creative 1.0, if that was even a thing, was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing, right? But you can also, so there's 40% of the Fortnite revenue from the game that you make or something goes directly to the actual person to the developer that made the game. So, like, we're going to see incredible things, like an explosion of creativity, I think. Like, honestly, I think we're going to be seeing a huge like uptick on. Okay, so you know how Warcraft 3 made Dota. Who knows what this is going to be making? You know, like who knows what kind of game modes and new crazes and new kind of fads and whatever are going to be made in the middle of this, right? So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, if this became like the thing people mostly tuned in for, Fortnite could have a completely different identity in the next 5 to 10 years. Absolutely. Big Cheese, thanks, man, for the Canadian dollars. Great to see the channel putting up some streams. Cheers, mate. I love you, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what happens with Fortnite. Now, I don't like Fortnite, all right? I'm not some 14-year-old kid, all right? Now, you know what? If you like Fortnite, then you like Fortnite. Who am I to put you down? All right? I'm just here to subtly say grow up. That's all. That's all I'm saying. No, I'm kidding. So is this like Dreams? Yeah. Actually, I would say it's a bit like Dreams, actually, but I don't know what kind of capabilities this has compared to Dreams. But I saw some incredible things in Dream. So I think it's going to be quite interesting. One thing I saw... Oh, shit. Okay, this is what I saw yesterday. Now, this was a couple of days ago now, but this looks kind of cool. I'm actually really excited to play this on Switch.
Come on! Nice! What do you say, Hotshot? Are you ready for greatness?
I think that looks pretty friggin' sick. I don't know why that wasn't coming up properly on there, actually. I think that looks sick, actually. I'm going to check that out, probably. If I get a free copy. No, I'm kidding. I'll check it out if you give it to me for free, Shunny. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool. Dreams on steroids. Yeah, that's what I think the Creative 2.0 is going to be. Going to be on Steam too. What they're going to put... Oh, you mean the game's going to be on Steam? Cool. Or maybe you mean... no, you don't mean Creative 2.0, do you? God, that'd be kind of cool if it was. God, this looks ugly. No, it looks cool. What are you talking about? Get out of my stream. How dare you? How dare you not agree with me the entire time? Gameplay looks fun. Why not? I want to check it out. Absolutely. I don't play Fortnite either, but I can definitely see the potential. I agree, Soler Gaming. I agree. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see what they do. Lego games are great. Lego Star Wars was great. I actually really enjoyed the Skywalker Saga. Legit. I played the whole thing. Well, I didn't play 6, 7, 8, and 9. Like, screw that. They're not even Star Wars. Let's be real. But I enjoyed... I enjoyed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was pretty cool. Sam, have you got a Steam Deck? I've got a Stream Deck doing this, baby. See, close. Oh wait, no. Close up, just me and you. Like this, but no Steam Deck. No Steam Deck. Nope. Look, they're hard to import. I mean, look, you can get them now, actually. You can get them in Australia, but they're like $1,000. They're a lot, man. What else is happening in the news, people? Oh my god, the TikTok thing. Have you guys seen this shit? This can't be real.
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
So what you're saying is if I use my phone and I use my finger to swipe up, then it's going to know my fingerprint? No, I'm not saying that. You're saying that it's going to know my fingerprint. You're a Chinese spy. You are a Chinese spy, sir. This is old people at its finest. I mean, they just don't understand technology. Are you saying that it connects to the internet so it can communicate with a satellite? Are you saying that TikTok is commandeering satellites? Sure. So ridiculous. So fucking stupid. Boomers, man. Boomers are great fun though, aren't they? They just don't get things and they don't get it, so they're scared. They're just terrified. They're like, TikTok, I don't get it. People are dancing. Shit. Oh my god. Wi-Fi is the devil. Honestly, when you walk into like a boomer's room, they're like, oh, I can't get the TV to work. And then you change it from like input 1 to input 2. They're like, holy fuck, how did you do that? Are you a magician? Oh man, yeah, this TikTok shit is funny as hell. People are just terrified.
Voice data to identify.
I want to talk specifically. Can you tell me right now, can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
What the hell is he talking about?
Body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not. The only face data that you'll get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know where the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
Why do you need to know where your eyes are for a filter? Why do you need to know that? I mean, I would feel safer if TikTok thought my nostrils were eyes. I would feel safer. I would know that they're not seeing how dilated my eyes are to know if I should serve up more content. I mean, they...
and that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that there...
He finds a lot of things hard to believe. Wi-Fi, hard to believe. It's magic. Our Wi-Fi is magic. Number 1. Number 2, dilated eyes. That's when they know that the algorithm's got you.
Looking at the eyes, how do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age dating as a...
How old are you in info when you're like signing up and shit, right? I'm sure there's something like that. I mean, the camera's not going to be like, oh shit, this looks like a 60-year-old man. We should serve him boomer content. We should serve him how Wi-Fi works.
Age dating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public. So if you post a video, you choose that video to go public, that's how you get people to see your video. We look at those to see if it matches up the age that you talked about.
Boomers, man. They're terrified of anything. Oh, God, that's so funny. Congress, man. Do you remember when Congress was like, how does Facebook make money? And Zuck was like, Congressman, we run ads. And he was like, what? What are you talking about? Ads? Oh, God. What else? He actually came out and said this, which, you know, why not?
Continue to protect your data from unauthorized foreign access. Now, in the US, American data will be stored on American soil by an American company overseen by American personnel.
It'll be stored on American soil by people that are paid off in America by people that are Chinese spies. Now, who knows, right? Like, far out, this whole thing, it's so hard to know where they stand with this. Are we really, should we be this terrified of TikTok? I don't give a shit. Like, if they got my content, like, if they see what I look up, oh my God, it's going to be horrendous. Jesus Christ, why is Sam looking up that shit? Oh, God, he's really not well. Like, this is the thing, right? The average consumer that goes on TikTok, they're looking up memes, dances, and trends. I mean, how important is that data in a world war? It's like, I think we should attack here because that's the highest concentration of people doing dances. Yeah, I think we've got them. Yeah. I think we should invade on this border because that's where a lot of the memes were made and uploaded. Yeah. That's what we should do. I mean, I don't see how this actually matters. I don't see how any of this data at the moment from like people looking up memes and shit, I don't care. Whatever. The app is free. What do you think algorithms do? I know, these people are so ancient. They're freaking ancient, man. They're absolutely ancient. Microsoft says we haven't pulled any games from PlayStation. Okay, so this is actually interesting because this came from a dev speaking out saying Redfall was pulled from PlayStation 5. And they were like, yeah, the moment Xbox took over, they were like, I'm the captain now. You're not doing this on PlayStation 5. Get this ready for Xbox and PC. Of course, Microsoft came out and being like, that's not true. What are you talking about? We would never take any games. We wouldn't pay billions of dollars for Bethesda and ZeniMax and then just like not reap the rewards. Microsoft came out and said, we haven't pulled any games from PlayStation. In fact, we've expanded our footprint of games that we've shipped on Sony's PlayStation since our acquisition of ZeniMax. And the first 2 games we shipped after closing were PlayStation's exclusives. Now, they're talking about Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, which is absolute bullshit because that was already locked in. Those agreements were locked in. So they're making it sound like, we're expanding the portfolio. You guys want Halo? Yeah, why not? Just everything. You guys want Forza? Yeah, have it all. They were already exclusive that were signed, sealed, delivered. So that is not fair to include that. That's bull. That is bullcrap. That dev has mysteriously has disappeared now? Has he been Clintoned? Oh my God. Really? Check on all the staff of the Clintons every day. See if they're still alive. The government already knows everything about us, already taken our souls. Absolutely. Like, I mean, this is the thing, right? This might be controversial, but whenever I sign up to a social media app, like, I'm expecting them to try and like sell to me in as many ways as possible, right? They're going to try and collect as much as much info as possible. As long as they're not commandeering my phone and they just want to like tailor ads to me, I'm not really that fussed. Like, if they want to show me certain things that I like, fair enough. All right, if they're going to show me extra small condoms, then fine. Fine, because you know what? They know what I need, okay? Microsoft PR team needs better people. Do better. Do better, Microsoft. Do better, man. Now, UK regulators sided with Microsoft over Call of Duty on PlayStation concerns. Now, this was originally... Okay, so the CMA, the Competition and Markets Authority, what they originally did is they actually released a report saying over a 5-year period, the losses would outweigh the gains if you include 1 year... okay, so it actually says here, the CMA used a financial model that compares gains on a 5-year basis to losses on just a 1-year basis. And Microsoft argued that it was clear errors that ultimately skewed the results, right? Now, the CMA came out and said, you know what? We kind of agree with you. Actually, we're going to change this. And based on those changing figures and results, among other things, I believe, but now they've actually turned around and said, you know what? We actually don't have this much of an issue with you guys taking over the good old Activision. So this is starting to skew the other way now. This is starting to skew the other way. And Citibank did some figures, and Citibank was saying that they expect now that it went from a 50% kind of odds that they would close the deal to a 70% now that they would close the deal. So I feel like Activision is going to be Microsoft's. It was a little bit touch and go for a while. Bold strategy, Carton. But they actually, I think, at the end of it, it seems like it's actually going to be going in Microsoft's favor. You know, for all the intelligence that they gather, we don't seem to be getting any smarter as a whole. Absolutely. Apparently, TikTok serves a different algorithm in the States compared to like China, where like they get stuff that's actually important to learn. Like it's good stuff. It's meaningful content, where we just get like, you know, dances and memes and dark comedy, and I mean, that's what I get at least. Yeah, so that's very interesting. What happened with the channel? Life's got in the way. I'm busy at work. I'm still doing the channel ever so often now. As you guys can see, I'm back, baby. No, but I work another job, and I'm just doing this, guys, whenever I can. So we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out. We've already done that. Forbes, from Paul Tassi actually saying, I've seen enough. The Diablo 4 beta indicates it'll be a massive hit. I actually agree with this. I legit agree that this is going to be a massive hit. I don't see this going bad. I played a decent amount of it. I liked it a lot. I like it a lot. And I'm actually really excited to see this come out in June, and I am definitely going to be playing the hell out of this. I'd like to do a full review of this game. And I just think this has gone strength to strength. I think Diablo Immortal was absolutely something that kind of hurt them big time. And then I think after a while, they were like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board and make sure that the next game doesn't suck. Because how many times can you ruin a franchise? Diablo Immortal kind of felt ruined for a second. Red Shirt Guy definitely thought that too. But I think they came back and they actually kind of did something really fantastic here. And I'm actually really pleased with this, and I'm excited to see what they do with this. So, did you guys get a chance to play? Did you guys get a chance to play the game? I think you should have. If you didn't get a chance, then, you know, shame on you. Shame on you for not playing, ultimately. How dare you? AI is so good with memes. I love the AI memes now. I did that last time, the Trump memes. He's not going to jail or something. Like, what happened with that? I thought he was going to jail. Can you imagine him in jail? That'd be great. This is the worst deal I've ever had. This is tremendous. The room they've given me is great. Very important. I mean, he'd be by himself, right? He wouldn't be with some like jacked big dude being like, I'm daddy now. You need to call me daddy. It's like, please, my hands are too small. Any concerns is how they will implement microtransactions. Look, I don't think Diablo will do that. I actually don't think they'll do that. I think that they understand. Well, who knows, right? Maybe, but I think that they're going to look at this and go, this is a reputation builder, this game. This is like, you know, this is the franchise rebuilder. This isn't like, let's make it, naturally they want to make a lot of money off it, right? But I don't think it's going to be in such a way that they're going to do it that's going to hamper the success of this in the long run and rebuild the brand and the image of Diablo, you know? Because Diablo 3 had its problems too. You know. But I mean, I was like 21 or something then. I wasn't like in the thick of Twitter and all that. And I don't think people had such a visceral reaction back in the day also. So people's kind of reactions to Diablo 3 were a little bit muted, I think, compared to how it would be today. Definitely. It was a lot of fun. Cutscenes and stories seemed very cool. Absolutely. I thought it was really amazing to see what they did with Diablo. And I was really pleasantly surprised to see what they did. Can't believe my eyes. You're back. I'm back, my friend. I'm back just to see you, Midnight. I'm just here to see you, man. It should go bad, though. I'm not buying till it's on deep sale or used. They need to be taught a real lesson. Vote with your wallets. Vote with your wallets, everybody. Trump meat sandwich. What else? What's going on? Oh, this is interesting. I saw this morning. Hot off the presses. Ubisoft has backed out of E3 2023 weeks after announcing it would attend the expo. Can we just say now that E3 is dead? E3 is dead. I just don't see it coming back the same strength. It was hanging on by a thread, really. When Microsoft had its own area that it did its show, Nintendo did its own thing, and PlayStation for 2 years in a row, 2019 and 2020, didn't actually do their own show there. I mean, at what point did we not see the writing on the wall that things were going bad for E3? And then, of course, it got worse with COVID, and that just like really destroyed it. And now I think it's just holding on, trying to like figure out what it's going to be. But I think Jeff Keighley is going to do his own thing, and that's probably going to be built up strength to strength. We'll see. I say I'm a long-time viewer here. Great to see you back. Any thoughts on doing a chat gaming stream? Would love to see you battling through. Oh yeah, with your quick wit. Quick wit. Come on now. Let's not lie. Now look, I was thinking of doing that. Like I was thinking, look, I'm enjoying doing this actually. Like I really enjoy just like chatting with you guys. I was thinking of jumping on Twitch, Let's Chat, and actually just doing more of this kind of stuff. Yeah, the pandemic definitely pretty much delivered the killing blow. But Jono, good to see you here, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for stopping by. Konami is going to announce MGS3 remake there, though. Well, that'll be interesting. That would be interesting. I'd like to see that. I would like to see MGS3. Snake Eater. Snake Eater. Yeah, so I don't actually see Ubisoft. I don't see E3 existing in 5 years. I really don't. I think it's going to be more like a PAX, where PAX is big, but like things aren't shown there, right? It's more a celebration of games and the community. It's not a place where you would, like, you don't go to PAX for announcements. You know, you go to hang out with your fellow schmelly gamer. Another thing I saw actually was really cool was Unreal Engine 5.2 next-gen graphics tech demo, right? Let's make sure this looks as nice as possible. 1080, yeah. This is cool, man. This is the review. Like, it's starting to look pretty freaking real. I mean, that's looking pretty good. You know, I mean, it's not like perfect. Perfect. Yo, win. But it's getting there, man. Now, I didn't think this looked great. Like, this didn't look great, right? But then under here, it looks pretty real, I thought. You know, like, it is getting pretty damn good. But anyway, I think next-gen graphics, tech demo, state of play, state of Unreal. I think that's pretty cool. Twitter, Elon Musk is not making the money. He's not making money, people. He's not making money. He bought it for 44 billion. Now apparently it's only worth 20 billion. 20 billion of people, you know, have things to say, I'm sure. He's holding a pen. This means that he's smart. His smart is buffed. Intellect up 100. Okay? Intellect up 100. It actually was a bit of a commercial for a truck then. I didn't realize that. That's so true. It's really just a commercial for the Rivian. Elon Musk, man, should he have bought it? Who is going to do this Twitter blue nonsense or some shit? Okay, I'm not verified anyway, right? But I'm not. Every time I see someone with a Twitter blue, is he Twitter blue? Let's have a look. No, he was notable. Okay, sorry, he's notable. Oh yeah, okay, he's notable. Yeah. But like anyone with Twitter blue, I'm like, come on, mate. I'm not gonna pay to look important. I already am important. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, this whole Twitter blue thing is so stupid. So stupid. I'm so hyped that Microsoft is going to run Activision into the ground. It's going to be beautiful, mate. Well, look. Okay, Halo hasn't been great. We haven't seen Starfield though, but like I feel like Microsoft is looking to buy and like acquire things and then let them just continue doing them. Like apart from them like not wanting certain things on PlayStation, I actually think that that they're going to lead them to do what they do best. I personally think that. That Twitter deal really backfired. I agree. No gold star sticker for me. I know I'm a corporation. I'm an organization. Okay. Big fan of your song. Thank you, my friend. Love you. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Last thing is Microsoft says it's stopped its Xbox Game Pass, man. That's such a shame. That was great. I used that a few times. Absolutely. $1 offer. See, here's the thing, right? They've got a lot of people already playing Game Pass. I don't think it's profitable yet, but it's getting close from what I remember last time Phil Spencer saying. making commentary around this, I think it's actually getting close to being relatively profitable. But it's not about being profitable for them. I think it's about having people in their ecosystem, playing their games, interacting with Xbox Marketplace, as well as kind of building up the numbers of people that will call themselves a Xbox player. You know, that's kind of the main thing for them. That's gone though. Real shame. But like, they actually haven't come out and said what they're going to be doing. But they have said this. We have stopped our previous introductory offer for Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate and PC Game Pass, and are evaluating different marketing promotions for new members. Got the hiccups. For new members in the future. So look, obviously everyone was just gaming the system. They were like, no, I'll just use this again. Maybe they're just like making new, like multiple accounts over and over again. They're like, yeah, I've never used Game Pass. This is not a new account, promise. Yeah, so obviously it just wasn't working for them, and the actual structure wasn't working. COD on Switch gonna be lit, dude. I actually want to see what that's like too. Like, I don't know if that's going to be great, but like maybe it's gonna be all right. We'll see. We will see, everybody. Lastly, should we just check what's going on Reddit? Let's check Reddit. Okay, gaming news. I saw this, guys. Did you see this shit? Multiversus is like, oh, by the way, we're going back into, oh, where is it now? I lost it. Oh, this is something I want to see. Okay, this is not 10-minute gameplay. Okay, so it's actually coming out. Premiere. Okay, so it's coming out tomorrow, I think. Not yet. I don't think that's actually hit yet. Multiverse pulled from stores. Dude, I thought this was interesting. Hey, I saw this actually. I forgot to include this. Multiverse is going offline. Relaunch is planned on 2024. Apparently the uptick of people playing went down by 99% or something. I mean, that's a lot. Jesus. This game was not a success, clearly. You can't be like, what a success. 99% of people aren't playing now. We smashed it out of the park. We expect a Game Award. We expect Game of the Year. And for them to like take it away now. And people have like put money into this, right? This is another thing. I saw people talking about this on Twitter. Like, they put a bit of money into the microtransactions or whatever. Now, I actually haven't played a lot of this game. I've played maybe 2 or 3 hours of this game. So people in the comment section could have been just like bullshitting and they actually didn't put any money in because maybe there wasn't any microtransactions. I actually don't know that. But I did see a lot of people saying they did. We report, you decide. Layman news. Right? I'm not sure if that's true. But if that is the case, if people did put money into this thing and they're like taking it off and relaunching in a year's time, that's kind of shitty, man. I mean, that's kind of shitty, I would say. So that's interesting to see what they're going to do here, but like, I can't see them changing this so fundamentally that it's going to go from 99% of people not wanting to play it to 98% of people not wanting to play it. Like, I don't see that. I played the game. It didn't have good bones. Nickelodeon All-Stars had a better game. It was a better game than this. Like, I played a hell of a lot of Smash. I've played more Smash than most people. Well, Smash Ultimate at least. And I would say this did not have good bones. Nickelodeon All-Stars had better bones, and that didn't even work. Really? I mean, that kind of just like went away. So, I don't know what's going to happen there. Isn't it more to prove it's you? What are we talking about? For people that isn't actually, for people that it actually matters to. Isn't it? I'm not sure what you mean by that, my friend. Nickelodeon All-Star was so bad though. What? No, it wasn't, dude. No way. That was a lot of fun. Nickelodeon All-Stars ultimately had some good bones to it. Don't think it'll make a difference. I don't think it'll make a difference either. I think it's kind of done and dusted, this game. Personally. Whoa! Resident Evil 4 Remake launched 29% bigger than the GameCube's original. It's pretty sick. Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. Holy shit, yeah. Well, look, more people are playing games now, and more people... The GameCube was just one console, where this has multiple consoles that it can sell to, right? So I don't know if though that sounds a lot bigger than it actually is, I think. Yep. A last thing I actually saw too is Left 4 Dead 3 reference found in Counter-Strike 2 files. That's interesting. We might be seeing a Left 4 Dead 3. We very well will. Look, I mean, Left 4 Dead 2 was a huge smash, and more people are still playing that than the latest one. The back, what was it called? That other zombie game? Not Back 4 Blood, was it? Maybe it was Back 4 Blood. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty big in terms of the actual sales. Like, that's huge. I mean, remakes are a thing now. Like, not that they weren't before, but like the track record of remakes going from strength to strength is really there. And heaps of people are just loving this shit. Like, I absolutely think that we should see a lot more remakes now. I mean, look, we've been seeing them anyway, right? Of course, but every remake gets such critical acclaim apart from Res 3. But like 9 times out of 10 they do. So I just think that because there's been such a great track record, if we saw 3 or 4 remakes and everyone was like, oh, I don't know about this, kind of like the old game, the nostalgia's gone, man, or some shit like that, then we wouldn't see so many remakes coming out, you know? I thought Back 4 Blood was Left 4 Dead 3. I know it wasn't. It was actually different. Like, if I remember correctly, it was different. It wasn't Left 4 Dead 3, although it definitely had a lot of like overtones of that. Yeah, so guys, I had a great time today. Did you guys have a good time? I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. Did you have a good time? There we go. I had a good time too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you, appreciate you. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a good time. Thank you all for the super chats and the memberships today. Thank you so much. We're back in a couple of days when we have something else to talk about. Not sure what we will talk about, but we will have something to talk about. So should we do a little drop out? You excited for the finals? The destruction looks insane. I don't know what the finals are. Not sure. Good talk, mate. Love you, Sam. Love you too, man. Laters, bro. Dude, happy to see you back. Happy to see you guys too, man. It's always fun. I want to do more of these relaxed streams where we just kind of talk about anything, hang out, and that'll be it for today. For all news, reviews, and discussions, thank you so much for tuning in. Laymen out.